right, man, you're ready to go.
Welcome to Race Time Radio. You'll hear from the best in Canadian U.S. racing this week. Grab a cold one and stick around.
All right, you're good. They got a car in the wall.
The starter tower has signaled. We're ready to roll. It's Race Time Radio and starts right now. Here's your host, Joe Chisholm.
Keep that driver out. All right, buddy, have a safe one. Keep her in one piece.
And just like that, away we go. We all set ready for tonight's show. I know we are here. Got Susie Q over there, got me here, and I got a wicked lineup of guests all for you live tonight on Race Time Radio. So glad you could pop in here and join us. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, will you, on our YouTube channel? Really appreciate it. Let me tell you who we got coming on this very show here tonight. As mentioned, a wicked lineup. Getting things started right off the top, we're going to have the 49 Thunderstock from Ohsweken Speedway. How about this? 60 wins is what Dave Bailey has got in that 49 car. He did it again on Friday night. I want to say this was his 6th win this year, but he's capped now 60 wins in the seat of that 49 car. He's had a bounty on him. He, along with the 84 car, have had a bounty on those two guys, and they're putting out big money if you can top these two guys. And so far, no one has done it. I know Ryan tried there a couple of weeks ago, but ended up getting nailed in the room of doom afterwards. And I believe that's been the only challenger so far. Not that the rest of the field doesn't challenge these guys, because they obviously do. But no one has topped the 49 or the 84 in 2026. Tonight, the 49 car is going to join us. Looking forward to catching up with Dave Bradley. I've got my 14 shirt on, and that's for Just Cause. Chase Pinsonneault went back to victory lane at Toledo Speedway. He didn't have the Wednesday night at Berlin that he wanted, but he definitely did at Toledo, taking the checkered flag there in another CRA race. And Chase Pinsonneault is going to join the show here tonight. J.R. Fitzpatrick, remember that guy? Broke his foot way back in the beginning of the year at the other Big O on asphalt. J.R., he's all healed up and back behind the wheel, behind something a little bit different. He was in the Canadian Vintage Modifieds just last night at Flamboro Speedway. J.R. Fitzpatrick, I believe, took his first Canadian Vintage Modified win. He is going to pop by and join us. We'll also catch up with the number 67 from Canada's East Coast. We got Dylan Blenkhorn going to join the show. He got his first victory of 2026 in his brand new 67 car. He did that out at Scotia Speed World just a week ago today, and it was the Class 250 at Scotia Speed World, their biggest of the year. And Dylan Blenkhorn went to victory lane. He's going to join us here on the show in hour number 2. And then off to the West Coast we go, and we're going to bring in Trevor Seibert, of course, the promoter at Penticton Speedway. We got the Western Rattler 222 coming up, or do we? We will find out here tonight. Those wildfires getting scary close to the Speedway out there, and we're going to get a full update all live tonight on Race Time Radio with one of the best. We got Trevor Seibert going to join the show. We'll talk to him about the plans. We'll find out where the fires are all at, and hopefully everything stays far enough away that doesn't threaten our short track out there. But we will catch up with Trevor here tonight on the show. So that's what we got coming at you. And, man, it's been quite a weekend this weekend, right? We had Markham and brand new track. Things didn't get started out really the way they wanted to right off the bat. There was supposed to be practice and all kinds of stuff happening at the track on Friday. None of the above happened. The Speedway wasn't ready. Of course, it's built on the streets of Markham, and it consequently wasn't ready to go. So what do other than make sure that everything is in the right spot before they drop a green flag in any kind of practice or anything? So that's in fact what they did. All action on Friday was scrubbed, everything moved to Saturday, and Saturday everything went off just like it was supposed to. They got qualifying in and practice for NASCAR Canada, got their race in, and then IndyCar got their practice and qualifying in. It was a big weekend at Markham, and what a track! After they got everything all sorted out, how about that for a challenging street course? It proved to be a winner, I'd say. A good NASCAR Canada race, and then watching the IndyCar race today, man, what a show! Ericsson comes from back to win it in the closing laps, and man, what a show! But I can tell you, Friday night at the Big O was quite a show as well. Dave Bailey did an amazing job in that number 49 car. He is going to be with us here in mere seconds, and we'll talk to him about not only that win, but the season that 49 car has put together. And it doesn't happen without all hard work, right? These guys have been really working hard to not only go out and, do the best they can on a Friday night, but how about that? 60 victories for Dave Bailey in that car. That's huge. Monumental. And it just, all that hard work does pay off, and it pays off as the races all click on by. He's in good shape, looking at another championship for Dave Bailey, and he should be able to close the deal here. I would think he's going to close it up, but we're going to talk to him. I can see him up on the Zoom line, so maybe we'll just grab David and find out what's going on. David, how are you, my man? Oh, I can see him, but I don't think he's hearing us right yet. Oh, there we go. I can hear his thumb anyway. David, how are you, bud?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just a little bit of trouble there, but we got her sorted out.
Yeah, you sure do. I can see you're situated out in the shop. You're working away on the 49 car again.
Yeah, a little bit of working, a little bit of, this is kind of my living room, so this is where I hang out most of the time and do stuff when I need to.
I wouldn't doubt it. You do lots of stuff when you need to. And speaking of doing stuff, you did it again on Friday night, going to Victory Lane at the Big O, locking down now 60 victories behind the wheel of that 49 car. You just keep on racking up the stats, man.
Yeah, Friday night was pretty locked down, pretty fast racetrack. That was the one we were worried about because Kyle Wirt, he's a really fast car, and he's had some bad luck lately, and he got to start at the front. So he was the rabbit that we had to chase, and we got lucky, I guess lucky, not lucky. Big O got a flat tire and brought the caution out, so it kind of bunched us back up, and then we got our shot at him.
Yeah, and you did. And it doesn't happen without hard work, determination, and you got to stay ice cube cold in that car to be focused, and you got to do it one lap at a time, right? You can't do it all at once.
Yeah, the way the handicapping works there at Ohsweken, the top money car from the last 3 weeks starts 20th. So you got 20 laps to come from 19th, 18th, 20th, wherever we end up starting. But it's kind of, you throw a caution to the wind for the first couple laps and see where you can get. And then after that, just kind of try and pick them off one at a time.
We're with Dave Bailey tonight. Went to Victory Lane on Friday night, as mentioned. Dave, what's it like trying to maneuver your way through the field? Because there is a lot of really good competitive cars that you race against week after week.
Yeah, so we race Fridays at Ohsweken and then Saturdays at Merrittville, and just there's so much more room. We could never come from 20th in 20 laps at Merrittville. There's not enough room. But Ohsweken, the way the racetrack is so big and so wide, it gives you an opportunity. If you catch a guy, then you just kind of try and go where they're not and make ground up that way. Just big track, lots of room. So it's not easy, but there's a lot more room to make stuff happen at Ohsweken.
Is there such thing, Dave, as setting the car up for the high side, or you're going to set it up tonight, you're going to be real good on the bottom? Is there such a thing with those cars? And do you do that? Do you purposely set it up to run in a specific spot?
I don't think you set the car up to do that. Not what I do anyways. You just prepare yourself to do it. Like, you need to have an open mind, and if the bottom's not working, you got to go to the top, and if the top's not working, you go to the middle, and like, you just kind of have to go where they're not. We changed stuff here and there. I had kind of gotten off like a month and a half ago, just trying things to get better and not. So we went back probably 2 weeks ago now, 2.5 weeks ago, and put it all back to where we knew it was happy. But as a rule, I run the exact same stuff other than gear ratio at Merrittville and at Ohsweken, and it doesn't matter. Like, I got a set of heat tires and a set of feature tires, and we do the same at both racetracks, whether you're running the top or you're running the bottom. Just I got enough laps now that you kind of know what you need to do as a driver to make the car happy. Trying to change the race car when the race track changes, we're not smart enough to do that. It's a street stock. Like, you just send it out there and drive it.
Yeah, and not to mention the guys that you're racing against, it's one thing to know, most of the field. Every now and then, you get thrown a curveball and somebody new comes out, and you've got to pass them because obviously they're going to start ahead of you. At least chances are. Now what do? You haven't really got time where you can say, I'm going to sit behind this guy and follow him for a bit and figure him out. You haven't got the luxury of that. You got to go. How are you picking them off?
You just pretty much have to go where they're not, or wait for them to make a mistake. If you want to be where they are and they're there, you can't drive through them. So you either got to wait for them to make a mistake or you got to go around them. So just years and years of experience trying to figure it out.
Well, you definitely got everything that you need. How are you now in points? I haven't even looked at them, and probably knowing you haven't looked at them either. You're letting them take care of themselves. But have you peaked? And what do you got, like 2 or 3 more nights, and then that's going to be it, right?
Yeah, at Ohsweken, Beagle's right there, but we're ahead by 20, which is, depending on, like, at the front, it'd be one night, it'd be like 8 positions maybe. But yeah, there's 3 nights left of points, and then we got the nationals after that. So he's still there. He's still right on us. Pressure's on us because it's ours to lose now. Just got to keep doing what we're doing. So far, we haven't had any bad luck, and we're just going to try and keep it that way.
Well, touch wood. Yeah, you haven't really. I've been watching, and when I watched a couple weeks ago, and I seen Ryan Kimball get you, and then listening to Kimball in his post-race comments, he had talked to you, and you had actually guided him to make his car better. Unfortunately, unfortunately, he didn't make it through the room of doom, and it eliminated that possibility of that guy winning the bounty money, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But Dave, you're the kind of guy that doesn't really, keep everything internally and not help anybody. You're like Santa Claus out there helping guys, and I guess rightfully so, right? You do have to pass them. If you're going to pass them, it'd be kind of a good idea to have a little bit of rapport with the guy.
Yeah, I try and help anybody who I can, just because of my background growing up on asphalt. A lot of these guys grew up without using a whole lot of the brake pedal, and I've used a lot of the brake pedal. It might not look like it, but you use that pedal to settle the car down and whatever. And I think a guy like Kimball that also has the asphalt background kind of understands that. So you help a dirt guy out. I can tell him everything I know, but if they don't drive the same, it's not going to work the same. So who knows? He ran really good. Looks like he ran decent last night. I don't know what happened, but finished near the back. But they ran good, and he's been running really good in that car. So I don't know, just another guy that we have to contend with.
And yet another one. There's so many of them at the Big O. It's amazing to watch. Fans, if you can't be at the Big O to watch, I got to tell you, tune in to G-Force on Friday nights and watch these guys on dirt. It's an amazing show. It always is. I've yet to turn it on and watch a stinker from the Big O. There's always competition, and it's in every class. They got great car counts. And you get to see guys like Dave going out there and polishing their craft that they do each and every Friday night when they get out. Dave, I don't know. The bounty. Where did the idea of this bounty come from? And if I understand correctly, it was a sponsor that put the money up to try and knock the two of you guys off the top.
Yeah, it started with Kyle Tomaski offered up $100 if someone could beat us, and then someone else offered up $50, and then someone offered up $1,000, and then another person 5,000. So I think total it was up to maybe $8,500, and it wasn't even the racetrack that had anything to do with it. It was just one person, and then $100 turned into $8,500, and we get 500 a week out of it if we can keep winning. So I think now it should be at 5,500, and then if we get it down, if we don't get beat this week, it'll be down to 5,000, and then we get nothing else until if we can make it to the end of the year. Me and Ryan get to split it, and if not, somebody takes home $5,000.
Well, that would be cool if you and the Mad Dog ended up taking that coin. It's a hell of a show to watch. I got to tell you, I'm torn. I don't know whether I should cheer for the guy that's coming behind you or cheer for you because you guys are doing such a great job. It's hard not to.
Yeah, like you want, if someone's going to win it, there's certain guys you'd really like to see win it. Like a guy like Trevor, he helps everybody. Trevor DeBoer, he helps everybody out everywhere, and he'd be a really good guy to have win that. And not that anyone's not deserving, just if we can't win it, there's a couple guys that you'd rather see win it, and but hopefully we don't have to deal with that, and we can keep our streak going.
Yeah, well, I would say it's amazing. How many championships have you got in that shop?
We got 7 at Ohsweken, 7 at Merrittville, 3 at Humberstone, 5 Flamboro mini stocks, a couple dual on the dirts. I won a go-kart championship when I was a child. I think that's about it.
Well, that's about it. I'd say that's a pretty good-looking career with no sign of it slowing down yet. How many of them are back-to-back?
We've had a few Merrittville ones back-to-back, and I think all of the Ohsweken ones were in a row, all 7, and then Beagle's got the best of us for the last 2 years, so we're looking to get one back at Ohsweken.
Do you ever look at the crate sprints and go, yeah, maybe next year. Maybe that's my time?
No, I don't. I'm too old, and this thing behind me has a starter in it, and I don't have to worry about, it's just me and my son. I don't have to worry about dragging a four-wheeler to the racetrack or anything like that. That's a great class, but like it is so competitive. You watch guys come from all different places and watch them struggle. So far, everybody who has came from other places and struggled has figured it out eventually, but the struggle that those guys have trying to keep up with the veterans in that class, it's just so strong, and I'm not interested in learning new things.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with being a career guy that goes out and gets results. I guess you'll be in that seat as long as the results keep coming, right?
Yeah, my son's 15, and who knows, maybe one day he'll drive the race car, or maybe I'll keep driving until I'm 75 and he'll just keep helping.
And when the day comes up, you're always going to be in the sport, whether it's on top of the box or in behind the wheel, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's no way that I'll ever be away from it. It's what we've done forever, and what we'll continue to do.
Final question for you tonight. I got to say, the Ryan Beagle shirt on you really looks good. That's the guy that drives the 84 car. For those fans that may not know who Ryan Beagle is, that's the guy that he's warring with to win the championship. Tells you a lot about these guys. And so how long has the 49 had the iconic Brewster-looking paint job?
We started that when I moved up from mini stocks, because we were always number 31 in the mini stocks, and then on pavement they don't want 2 cars having the same number, and there was already a 31, so we figured if we were going to do something, we'd do something that was cool. So just went and did the Brewster Baker thing, and it's been like that since probably 2014 or 2013, 2014.
Yeah, so it's as much yours as it was Kenny's back in the day. Are you going to keep it that way? Can you ever see a day where you change it up?
No, I'm too invested in it now. There's no way it'll ever change. This is what it is. If
Well-
we get sponsors that want to change the colors, that's too bad. Like this is what you get.
Yeah, well, and speaking of sponsorship, you do have some. Who have you got on the 49?
Queenston Chev's the big one. They've been with us for probably 8 years now or something like that. So big supporters of ours. And this Tomaski Transmission, they help out build transmissions for us. And then really it's just family that helps out at the racetrack, and it's a small group of people, and we just do what we do.
Well, small group of people that obviously know exactly what you're doing each and every time you go out there. You mentioned it. You're going to finish the points off at the Big O. Then you got the Nationals. Anything else that's going to fall in behind that, Dave?
Yeah, there's Apple Fest at Brighton. The Fall Classic, I think they call it, at Merrittville, was the start of October. And then it looks like maybe they've added a race at Buxton, like October 10th or something like that. So there'll be a lull at the middle of September until October, but it looks like we're racing until the middle of October, I guess.
You're going to be just fine. Man, it's going to be wild to watch you guys to finish this all off. You're back at it Friday night under the lights at the Big O. Fans, get to the racetrack if you can. If you can't, like I say, get to G-Force. Dave, continued success. We're going to keep your seat shined up here. Might be the Mad Dog next time. Who knows?
Yeah, he'd be a good one to have on. He's not much of a public speaker, but you might be able to get something out of him.
Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Dave, keep going. It's cool to watch. You're giving the fans every penny's worth every time, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Just awesome year, and anybody that's out there, just watch on GeForce TV on Friday night.
You betcha. Dave, thanks so much for the time. Have a good one. Go get it ready.
Okay, thank you.
Dave Bailey right there, number 49. The Brewster Baker, look, watch him. 60 wins. How about that? That's huge. Maybe he can get the championship. And wouldn't that be cool if he's able to fend off the bounty? And he and Beagle split that money at the end. I'll tell you what, it'd be a hell of a party. And you know where that money's going? Right back into that race car to keep him up on top. Amazing stuff, to say the least. We're going to hit a quick break. When we come back, I believe, we're going to have this 14 guy on here live with us tonight. Don't go anywhere. Just getting fired off. We'll be back.
Hey everybody, I'm Summer and we'll be right back on Racetime Radio.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Quick Fire Starters, the world's best fire starter. Napa Auto Parts Stores, Port Hawkesbury, New Glasgow, and Antigonish, Nova Scotia.
The NASCAR Canada Series is on Rev TV, Canada's only national touring series, featuring the best drivers in the country, racing on challenging street circuits, ovals, and road courses. The NASCAR Canada Series on Rev TV. Brought to you by WeatherTech Canada.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by 2-Speed Motorsports in Hanover. Shop now for Raptor filters, set up wheel plates, roll-off scale stands, tire carts, and more. Proudly made in Canada. For details, get to 2speedmotorsports.com. It's time for over 30 years. Quick Fire Starters have fueled this sport on and off the track. making lighting your campfire as easy as 1, 2, 3. There's no need for kindling or paper. Just pop your quick fire starter in the pit, add your wood, and presto, you're a pro. Quick fire starters. No harmful chemicals, and guaranteed to light your fire every time. Quick fire starters, the world's best fire starter. Tonight's Racetime Radio is fueled by BP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology, and by Rev TV Canada. From 2 wheels to 4 and so much more. The race is on Rev TV Canada.
From the high banks of Daytona, we cover it all. Ooh, that's going to leave a mark. And now, back to Joe's.
Hey, shake and bake, Cal! Woo! Shake and bake!
Here on Racetime Radio.
And welcome back, one and all, to Racetime Radio. Coming to you live from the Racetime Radio studio. I want to remind you, too, quick fire starters. Great time of the year, right? Things are going to start going again with lighting fires. And all summer long, when you're camping at the tracks and doing your thing, you're always looking for a quick. But the temperature's starting to cool a little bit now, and it's going to become more popular to get that fire pit going, either at the house, outside, whatever. You're going to want to use a quick fire starter. I was back and forth with Dave today from Quick. They've offered up, how about this, to the viewers and listeners of Racetime Radio, they've offered up a special. Save 25%, that's pretty good savings, using the RTR promotional code. So get to their website and use the RTR promo and buy yourself a bucket of Quick. You'll be prepared for all the rest of the race weekends and clear right through the winter. So do that. If you're wanting to light the fire and you don't want to look like a horse's patoot, you use a Quick. You're going to look like a superstar. Trust me, I do it. And never fails with the Quick fire starter. Let's get back to the Zoom line, shall we? And we'll bring in, how about the red hot driver and this week's Stewart's Hot Seat Interview of the Week. He comes to us from down near that Windsor area, and he drives the number 14, and his name is Chase Pinsonneault. What's going on, Chase? You did it, man. You won another race.
Yeah, super happy to be here and talk about it. Toledo went really well, and I can't wait to talk about it with viewers.
Yeah. Now, I know Wednesday night didn't go so well at Berlin. It was looking good, though, for a little bit.
Yeah, we were really good in practice, and I think I don't really know what happened. We had a left rear shock mount kind of crack in practice, and ever since we fixed that, going into qualifying, it just was never the same car. I struggled for turn all night. I think we made 6 pit stops trying to get it to turn and just couldn't figure it out. So definitely how racing goes, though. Lots of highs and lots of lows, so we'll just move on and focus on the highlights from Sunday and not worry as much about Wednesday. Yeah,
well, and that's the thing, right? Berlin, I know it's a track that you love racing at. You're constantly turning, and if your car doesn't want to turn, I tell you what, Berlin isn't the place you want to be at that particular moment in time. But Toledo, how about that? Man, you love that speedway, and it loves you right back.
Yeah, Toledo, it was super emotional for all of us because we've struggled for speed there in the past. My best finish until then has been 7th, and I don't think I've qualified into the top 5 or barely scraped into the top 5 there. So it was a really, really big deal for the team. It shows how far we've came, how far Van Dorn Racing Development has came. It's just a really big deal. It's my 5th, and to get it at a mile or a half-mile track like Toledo was really awesome, and I'm super proud of everybody.
Now, what is it with Toledo? It's a half-mile track. Is it the speed? Is it something that really lends itself to you?
The speed's definitely part of it. It's one of the faster tracks on the schedule. Definitely feels one of the faster tracks on the racetrack. And you just have to get your car doing everything right. I feel like most of the people that win at Toledo kind of win practice. you get your car turning good, but you can't just turn good. It's so fast that you have to have a lot of rear lateral grip too. So it's very difficult to build a setup, but me and Zach have been working together for long enough now, and we really got it all working together for us.
Well, either there or Owasso, because you're good at that place too. Another racetrack that, you know, when those races come up and the 14 enters, the rest of the field's got to be looking, okay, there's our benchmark right there.
Yeah, for sure. And it feels good. We've obviously worked really hard to get to that point. So being one of those benchmark cars in the pro stuff especially is really awesome. Super happy to be one of those people. You know, it's a very, very tough field of cars. There's a lot of really good quality all the way through the field. So feels good, but yeah, for sure. It's getting to the point now where our stuff's good everywhere we go, and it's up to me to put myself in the right positions to win races.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys have really gelled into a team that's a threat to win every time that you guys get out there at a racetrack. And it doesn't seem to matter whether it's CRA or whether it's ASA or whatever you choose to jump into. I know that when you go to get into a race, you're not going there to come away with, I don't know, a top 5 or a top 10. You know, maybe you're number 1, that was the goal. But not now. It looks like and it feels like the goal level has changed. Has it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with the super stuff, we're still not 100% there yet. We're approaching, we're really getting close now. We just haven't been able to put full weekends together yet with the super stuff. We've, you know, had really good qualifying efforts and struggled in the race, or had a really good race car but couldn't get track position in qualifying. Whereas the pro stuff, I feel like now with the amount of super experience that I have, it's all just came together flawlessly. Our pro stuff has been next level. I'd put it up par with anybody else in the country, and I'm super excited to, you know, be able to go run, you know, an invitational race here or there with that car, because I just feel like we've, you know, done so much work to make that car so good. So definitely the goal has changed when we show up to the racetrack, especially in a pro car. The goal is definitely to win. We always are going to have a chance. It's just, will the cards fall our way? That's the real question.
Well, the ASA, there's no doubt this last, 3 weeks or so, been a little soft, ASA, but things pick up big time here over the next few weeks. Will you have time to run any CRA stuff in between, or is it all ASA focused now until the end of the year? What's the plan?
No, we'll definitely have time to run both. We're full-time points in both, full-time platinum members of both, so we're definitely going to make them both work. There's some that get a little bit logistically complicated, like the Wednesday night at Owasso with the Jennerstown that follows it up on the 29th. But there's not a whole lot you can do there. Zach and Levy in the shop, all the guys at CHR do a really good job moving from one place to the next. So I still feel 100% confident that we'll, you know, have full race-ready cars at both of those events, but definitely going to run full-time in both. Definitely not going to miss any, and really excited as it comes up here. Everything's going to get busier, so really ready for it to ramp up.
Well, and you love testing, too, and testing's got to be paying dividends for you. How's the testing schedule looking in the near future?
Definitely not as good as we'd like it. The rules have changed a little bit. Now you're allowed to test, you know, 2 or 3 days before a race. The 2-week test ban has been released, which is going to make my life a lot easier and CHR's life a lot easier. But it's definitely going to be challenging, especially when we get into that September. I have school starting up at the same time. So my Monday through Thursday gets really busy. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be at the racetrack. So logistically, it's going to be complicated. Going to be lots of sleepless nights, but I'm ready for it and super excited.
Chase Pinsonneault is with us, driver of the 14. He is our Stewart's hot seat equipment. Stewart's hot seat. Stewart's equipment hot seat. I'll get it out. It happens, right? Even to me, Chase. Listen, you've been doing an outstanding job with your social media. You're really going, like, you're right over the top now. I'm going through my Instagram. I love watching the videos, right? I'm scanning along. All of a sudden, I see one of Chase come up. And it's Chase. He sort of crouched down. And he goes to the camera. And he goes like this. And when he's done doing that, bang, he's in his fire suit. And he breaks down the race that they won. It was amazing. Who is now helping you with this? Or is this something that came up in your mind, Chase, and you activated it?
Yeah, for sure. Luke is done. Sorry, just one moment, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't have his fire suit on. I thought you were doing that. You were going to put your fire suit on. I was only kidding you.
Hey, we're all ready right now, Joe. Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm back. We got Data Media doing all of our stuff. He's been really great. Sorry, Joe, do you think I could have 30 seconds?
Sure. You
Okay,
go ahead.
I'll be right back, Joe.
Yeah. You go ahead. With Chase Penticton, he's got to do a couple of things. And we're talking to him about his social media
Here's
stuff.
how my day went
It
at
has
Bertrand
gone
Speedway.
like
Unloaded for practice.
right over the top. I mean, like things have really switched up for him. He's done a great job with it, and it's noteworthy. If you don't follow Chase Penticton currently, you better get him in and get in the game. He's got some entertaining stuff, and I don't know of another team that is doing quite what Chase Penticton does with the social media aspect of it, and he's doing a great job. Of course, the 131 team is also coupled together with Carson Hocevar, and to see what Chase has been able to do with Carson. Carson's got to be looking at what Chase is doing and maybe taking a few pointers from him. And you're with me, Chase. You're back. So this social media stuff, break it down for me. Where did this stuff come from? Because this is next level.
Yeah, we have a guy, Data Media, doing all of our stuff. He does absolutely phenomenal work. He's our new photographer and our videographer. So he's responsible for all the reels, putting those together and delivering something beautiful to the fans and the viewers. And he's also the ones that puts those day in review videos that I feel like brings our viewership a little bit closer to the racetrack, kind of brings you into my picture, my perspective, what I see, what I experience during a race weekend. And I've also, I've invested in a pair of meta glasses. So what you see on my Instagram, I have some first person view of as many of the different racetracks I go to. I try as much as possible to try to bring the viewers as close as they can to the driver's eye, because I'm super lucky to be able to drive, but there's a lot of people that might not get that opportunity, and I want to bring them as close as I can to the action.
Well, and I can guarantee you do that. You're the only driver so far on Racetime Radio. I think back here, I believe it was last year, Chase finished a race. I don't know where they were, but he just finished. I texted him to see if I could get him on the show. And lo and behold, Chase said, yep. As a matter of fact, I'm going to roll through tech. Do you want me to do it from the car? I said, absolutely. And we did it. That's a memorable one in my mind. Getting a live interview right from the seat of the car. That was cool.
Yeah, I completely remember. I'm pretty sure that's all the way back to 2024 after the Ohsweken Nationals. I believe it got rain shortened and I was able to hit it on Sunday. I remember that one. Yeah. I think we ended up like fourth. It was really cool. I always try to get on and do as much media stuff as I can. I feel like it's good for me. I get positive promotion, obviously, on the show, and it's fun to talk, fun to, give back to the fans. It's, racing is nothing without the people in the crowd. They bring 90% of the energy. So whatever I can do to give back to them is, super important to me and everyone at CHR.
That's cool. Cool stuff. Is Carson noticing the differences and the nuances that you've been putting out there? Has he picked up on any of it?
I think maybe some, him and Zach communicate a little bit, but most of that kind of stuff is, tended towards the truck series and stuff like that, a little bit more advanced development at this current time. Like late model stuff is just not your ticket to the Cup Series. So the developmental side, like people that are really watching, is more at an NASCAR level.
Yeah, and that's okay. It's coming. I can see you climbing the ladder. How is the future looking? I know you're busy from here to the end with lots of races, but I know you got your finger on the pulse of the future as well. How is it looking?
Well, there's a lot of question marks in the future. I think there's a few races that I'd really like to get to. A couple of the big, for next year anyways, a couple of the big crown jewels on the Canada side of the border I think would be fun. Some stuff that I haven't really been able to do following, 2 series full time is, limiting for those other events like your IWK 250s or Great Canadian 300s and stuff like that. So I'd love to be able to, move it to, national kind of thing, maybe international, to see a little bit of Canada, a little bit of the US with the racing, but everything's just stipulation. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do and a lot of stuff that the team wants to do. But, all of that comes down to when you sit down and have the schedules for next year. So a little bit too early to tell, lots of wants, but obviously in a realistic world, you can't race 60 times and 3 times on the same day. So we'll have to look at all when the schedules come out and then see how everything shakes out.
Well, the cool part is you're thinking about it. At least it's made it to the level where Chase Pinsonneault's looking at it going, hey, I'd like to do this or that. That's the cool part. And there's no doubt you got an aggressive schedule in front of you. Your next race is when?
My next race is Owasso. It is the Michigan 300 with the ASA Stars National Tour, and it is, I believe, the 23rd. I'm not 100% sure on the day. It's our
26th, I think. I think it's the 26th, but I could be wrong. I did look at that, but I didn't know if that was your next race or not.
Yeah, it is the Michigan 300. You're probably more right than me. I'm terrible with dates, but Michigan 300, not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, should be a good show. It'll be whoever can keep brakes on it the most. That's a brake dominant racetrack, so whoever can keep brakes on it the most should be super good at the end.
Well, and you're coming into it with a notebook. That's cool. And some experience, and definitely loving the racetrack's going to help a whole bunch too. So Chase Pinsonneault, good luck. We'll keep your spots shined up here at race time. We always enjoy having you on, and it's going to be cool. You're hitting at the right time, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm always happy to come on, and I can't wait to be on again.
Sponsors, give them a hit.
Same one as always, US 131 Motorsports Park. They've been the loyal sponsor for the past 3 years, and they've always been on the side of that race car. Van Dorn Racing Development for building quality chassis, laying really good bodies. CHR, all the guys at home, Zach Dunson, Levy Jones, and, all my family, right? It's a family ordeal too, so I can't thank them enough.
Go get a checkered flag. Go get another checkered flag. Put it that way. And steal it the next time. Send it. We'll put it up in the Racetime Radio studio, and that checkered flag will be the Chase Pinsonneault checkered flag.
Sounds good, Joe. I'll see what I can do.
That's the stuff. Chase, have a good one. Be safe.
Thank you. You as well, Joe. Have a good one.
Chase Pinsonneault right there, driver of the 14. Watch for him. He's striking right at the right time. And he does an amazing job at Owasso, ASA Stars Tour. He's gonna crack that one real soon. I wouldn't doubt he does it by the end of the year. He is really starting to come into his own, and that's just too cool for school. We're gonna hit a quick break, and when we come back, hopefully we have J.R. Fitzpatrick with us. How about this? He is off. He's off the couch, and he is back inside a race car, and he won just last night at Flamboro Speedway in a first-time Canadian Vintage Modified, the 9 car. We're going to check in with JR on the other side. Stay with us, everyone. Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Stewart's Equipment with 4 locations, 2 in Erin, Cookstown, and Stainer, featuring Kubota, turn faster, cut smarter, power up for spring, servicing South Central Ontario since 1955. It's at Stewart's Equipment.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere. Doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. Stop by a Napa Auto Parts store. You can count on Napa know-how.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, New Glasgow, Antigonish, and Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia. You can count on Napa know-how.
The NASCAR Canada Series is on Rev TV, Canada's only national touring series, featuring the best drivers in the country, racing on challenging street circuits, ovals, and road courses. The NASCAR Canada Series on Rev TV. Brought to you by WeatherTech Canada.
It's time. For over 30 years, Quick Fire Starters have fueled the sport on and off the track, making lighting your campfire as easy as 1, 2, 3. There's no need for kindling or paper. Just pop your Quick Fire Starter in the pit, add your wood, and presto, you're a pro. Quick Fire Starters. No harmful chemicals, and guaranteed to light your fire every time. Quick Fire Starters, the world's best fire starter. There's work and there's fun. Both require the right equipment. Since 1955, Ed Sturt's Equipment has specialized in both, with a full lineup of Kubota, Honda, Stihl, New Holland, and most selections are in stock, ready to go, with 4 locations to serve you. 2 in Erin, Cookstown, and Stayner. It's Stewart's Equipment. With the right equipment, work can be fun.
Your weekly fix of newsmakers and newsbreakers is found right here. We call it Race Time Radio with your host, Joe Chisholm.
And welcome back, one and all, to Race Time Radio. Our next guest is up on the Zoom line. He looks like he's frozen, but we are going to see if, in fact, he is frozen or whether it's just my screen. J.R. Fitzpatrick has got the boot off the foot. His foot ain't broke no more. And he's back behind the wheel of a race car precisely where J.R. Fitzpatrick has wanted to be all season long. And lo and behold, he went to victory lane. Now, I got to say, while we get JR on the Zoom line, I also want to remind you that I know Sue will be playing the video up in the top corner of last night's Canadian Vintage Modified race. Well, at least the last couple of laps. You want to see the whole night? You can do that. Get to YouTube and punch in there, Pedal Power 51, and you'll be able to witness the full night of racing from Flamboro Speedway last night. Want to put it out to Justin Collison. Goes to victory lane in the Steel City Super Stocks. He ended up winning that one. The 89 car of Sean Chenoweth, hot on his bumper, along with Lane Zardo in third spot. They ran double features. Don't know how both races worked out, but I do know that the one worked out in Justin's favor. But it does look like we do have J.R. Fitzpatrick on the Zoom line. What's going on there, J.R.? Victory lane. That's how you want to make a return.
Yeah, how you doing, Joe?
Not bad, not bad. So, obviously, the foot's feeling a whole lot better.
Oh, yeah, especially after last night. I mean, I've done some testing. I tested a NASCAR Canada car on a road course. I've been testing my course project a few times now and driveway tests. And, yeah, it's all good. I got a little bit of a limp, permanently now, but we're all healed up and good to go.
Oh, well, a little bit of limp permanently. What's going on with that? Is there just a bad spot in the foot now or what?
Well, yeah, because now I've officially broke, or actually not broke both because I fractured my left foot, but broke my right. So now, I'm walking like my dad more every day.
Yeah, catching up to the old guy. Yeah, well, it's okay, JR. As long as you can drive the race car and you're feeling good, that's the main thing. Now, last night, you went back to Flamboro Speedway. You got behind the wheel of the number 9 Vintage Modified. How did that deal come together?
Well, so I've known Steve for a long time. He's always been super great to me, really. And I guess it was 2022. He asked me to drive his, my oldest in here. In 2022, he asked me to drive his modified for him at Delaware Speedway, and we ended up winning that race. And yeah, we've always just kept in touch. And then he told me over the winter he's building a brand new CVM, which I thought was kind of cool. I made one start last year. We finished third with Ricky Williger's car. And anyway, he just started asking just some questions about trailing arm stuff and what I would do if I ever built one. Sure enough, him and Al ended up doing some of that. And man, that car turns on a dime. It just turns so good. But the problem is it turns too good. So the back end kept trying to come around on us all the time. And yeah, we just started talking. Well, you might as well come try it. So yeah, I thought, you know what, now it's time. We went on Tuesday. I looked over the car, made sure everything was cool. That make sure the throttle stop and all that stuff's good. Because now I'm definitely sensitive about that stuff. And it was just man, Steve and Al and Steve. Everything Steve has is just immaculate. Like just beautiful car. So yeah, we tested it, went well, and then yeah, we gave it our best shot on Saturday.
Well, and it worked. It worked out real good. Now, Jason Keane was still right there, right on your deck lid. He wanted that. You had to hold him off the last couple laps. Did you feel him there?
Oh, yeah. So the first race, actually, Jason and I got together. I was on the outside of him, and he went in, and we both went to 3 super hard, and he got loose, hit my left front, took out the steering. So I was running 4th or something at the time, started the back, and I don't know where I finished. But anyway, yeah, I knew he was there because he was giving me shots in the corner. And also what I forgot to say is we had carburetor issues all day. So in the middle corner, I go put it to the floor, and it would do like a big hesitation. So every time I got the hesitation, he would hit me, and it would shoot the car forward. So it was working pretty well. He got under me a couple times, and to be honest, he raced me with a ton of respect because he really could have dived it in there and took us both out. But he didn't, and I just moved up just enough where I think it left the lane open for him. But honestly, the last 5 laps was a lot of fun. It was I was a little nervous because I didn't think we had the speed to keep those guys behind us because of the carburetor issue. But sure enough, we held them off. Now I got a CVM win. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say, and that's just short track bump drafting. That's all that is.
Yeah, and believe me, in them cars, there's just steel bumpers, right? So when you get hit, it's not like a little bump. It's like, kabam! So I knew he was back there.
Yeah, you definitely felt it. Now, JR, I did see some stuff on your social media where you did have your road course car out. How is it? Is it all set? And will you be back behind the wheel of that before the end of the year?
Yeah, so I tested it. We had an issue the first time we went, of course. I did a driveway test. Was so excited to be back in the car. Spent like 20 minutes and that thing up and down the driveway. And then my wife finally came down. She's like, hey, that's enough. No more. Because I was just bombing up and down the driveway, just having a hoot. Anyway, so that all went well. Load the car up, go to the track. Everybody came. Everyone's excited that we're going to the track again. Go to pull out on the track, clutch doesn't work. So it's like, what the heck? I just loaded it. So we spent all day trying to fix it. Didn't get on the track. Waste of a day. Come home, fix it, go back to the track. Go out, do 2 laps. The rotor and the distributor breaks. So I did 2 laps. Come back, put a new cap because I didn't have a spare because an SP2 engine don't have a spare yet. I do now. Get the cap in it. Go to the track. Finally get some good test laps in, and man, what a great time! I was like a little kid realizing what racing was again. It was just loving life. It was just amazing, and the car's got close to 800 horsepower. It weighs 2,600 pounds. It's just unreal to drive on 10-inch tires. So really excited to go back. I'm going to AVION Motorsports Park week. We're leaving Wednesday, making a camping trip of it, and testing on Friday, racing Saturday and Sunday. And like I said, I'm just like a little kid. I'm just raring to go.
Well, it sounds like you're back in the groove, and that is good news for all of us when you get back into the pocket and get back behind the wheel of a race car. Now, I did hear a little bit of rumbling that you were looking at maybe jumping into a NASCAR Canada car. Is there any merit to that rumor? Was that a situation, or is it a situation? We still have more of those races coming up.
Well, so I put on, because I'm buddies with a lot still, right? And I had a team reach out and said, hey, if you can come up with X amount, which wasn't really a lot, we'll put you in Markham. I knew it was going to be tough, right? For me not to try and find that, I'm not very good at that, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be really hard. But yeah, there was a small opportunity to come and it didn't work out, but, as of right now, you just never know what the future holds, right? So it'd be really nice to get out of CTMP and until everything's kind of finalized. I'm just going to say you never know what the future holds.
So we'll have to keep our ear to the pipe and find out if something does materialize. That will be cool. So the next time you're going to be in a race car sounds like Calabogie, and when is that? Next weekend?
Yeah, so it's this coming weekend, the August 21st, 23rd weekend. My family and I, we're all leaving Wednesday. Going to go up and practice on Friday. It's an open practice for everybody. And yeah, we're going to spend the next 2 days here loading up and getting the camper ready. And yeah, I'm just so excited.
Well, good for you. That's critical. Glad to hear you're feeling better. You got a Canadian Vintage Modified win. And, man, I can only tell you, we'd love to see you back in NASCAR Canada for a race. And we'd love to see you in a Super for a race. I guess the season, we still have some more here. We can always hope.
The Super, unfortunately, not going to happen for us just because, it's my father-in-law's car, and we just both collectively agreed that let's just take time, get the engine together, and we don't have to spend money because everybody knows everything's costing so much money. And so we're just taking our time, right? Like, it'd be nice to come back and do a few races next year. I'd like to just dabble thing again. I really want to go for a road championship. So next year, I'd really like to focus on that and do a few super races. And yeah, the Pindy stuff, just like I said, you just never know the future rolls. You never will happen.
Yeah, well, hopefully, and hopefully we get a better internet connection the next time we have you on. That was J.R. Fitzpatrick. Good news is we're going to see him back in a race car. It'll be a Calabogie, and keep our fingers crossed. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to see J.R. back in NASCAR Canada for one. That would be real cool. Oop, I can see him. He popped back in. Hey, we can actually see you now.
Oh, you didn't see me before?
Oh, you were frozen the whole time. The whole time you were frozen.
I know. I'm sorry. The one room I normally go to is occupied at the moment, but
there you go.
But yeah, so I was just saying, you never know what'll happen about the future, and it'd be really nice to get there. And there are a few things in the works, but we'll just, a couple of weeks, maybe let somebody know.
Yeah.
Let you guys know. I'll let you guys know first.
Absolutely. That would be fantastic. While we got you, the car that you're going to take to Calabogie, what class will you participate in?
So it's a part of the CASC Regional Racing Club. They've been around for many, many, many years. And so I'll be in the category of GT1. So it's basically like the fastest class. I know the categories are different rating from the States, but this for here in Canada, we're the GT1. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun racing against like James Beaton, Blaze Sita, and the Cochran bunch, and just a whole bunch of guys that I'm still trying to get to know as well. It'll be a ton of fun, right? There's anything out there from TA cars, TA2, ARCA cars, there's a NASCAR truck out there, Miatas, there's just everything out there. So it's a ton of fun.
Yeah, and your car would be like lots of horsepower, light, and got good brakes. That's the kind of scenario that you would want, I would think.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The only thing I'm missing is tires. I didn't want to go to 16-inch wide tires. That's a big price difference. So I got just a 10-inch like Pirelli radial tire, but with 800 horsepower blade. It's going to be a handful on throttle, but it's so much fun. Really looking forward to going, looking forward to camping and hanging out at the track with the family and just having a good time.
Well, make sure you got lots of heat in those tires before you start letting it go, or you're going to go for a spin.
Yeah, that motor literally will spin the tires. When I went and tested it, it was literally just spinning the tires because, yeah, you got to let them warm up for sure. But definitely, while I'm here, I want to thank everybody. Obviously, I got Cayman Drigging, Klotz Automotive and Machine have done all my horsepower and engine stuff, so they've been a huge thing. And then my family, my father-in-law, my parents, everybody that's been helping me get back to racing. And obviously my girls, we've been patient all summer, and now it's time to go. And then a new partner coming on for me this week, which I'm super excited to finally be able to represent him, is GSR. They're on our road course car, so that's going to be pretty cool.
Well, good on you, JR. Finally, something's starting to turn and head your way. That's just what the doctor ordered, I can guarantee you.
No, I'm really excited, man. Like I said, I'm just like a little kid. I'm just excited to go back. We're going to have a busy couple days packing up, but the car is good to go. We're just got to clean it and double check a couple things, and we're raring to go.
Well, you got that, and you'll have to get Teddy ready for Autumn Colors. I don't think there's been an Autumn Colors without you guys in it for a lot of years.
Yeah, but I don't have anything to race, right? That's the problem. And I'm really picking and choosing and making sure I know what I'm getting in if I get in anybody's stuff anymore. So not sure if we'll be there or not.
Well, you never know. Somebody could make that phone ring and get you there. That would be cool.
yeah, really the super lates should be there, but that's a whole new topic.
Super lates are at Delaware next Friday night.
Yeah, I know there's going to be a few cars, and I've heard rumblings of some new guys coming. I don't know if they'll be ready for Delaware, but yeah, that's obviously still to date my favorite oval race car, but nothing will ever replace the feeling of a super. But I'll tell you, this road racer feels like a super on a road course. It's pretty badass.
You can tell you're excited. Go after it. Get out to the shop. I know you're itching to get out there, and you go get it ready. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, 10-4. Thanks, buddy. And yeah, anybody wants to follow along, follow my social. I'll try and post things if I can and see how we do. It's been a while, but we'll be all right.
J.R. Fitzpatrick comes away with a Canadian Vintage Modified win. Now he's going to head to Calabogie with his rocket. Let's see how he makes out. Always great catching up with J.R. Good to hear he's back up healthy and racing. That's what we needed. And you never know, we might see him NASCAR Canada. That would even be, that'd be the cherry on top. I can guarantee you that. We're going to hit a quick break. When we come back, off to the east coast of Canada we go, and we're going to bring in Dylan Blenkhorn. Talk to him about his 250 win just last week, a week ago. We'll catch up with him on the other side. Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Leaf Racewear. Fuel your passion and confidence at leafracewear.com. We're an essential part of any team.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is on Rev TV. Catch all the action live with full race coverage of the high-stakes action that North America's leading sports car series delivers. 4 classes, world-renowned drivers, and leading manufacturers putting it on the line to be champions. IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, right here on Rev TV.
It's time for over 30 years. Quick fire starters have fueled this sport on and off the track, making lighting your campfire as easy as 1, 2, 3. There's no need for kindling or paper. Just pop your quick fire starter in the pit, add your wood, and presto, you're a pro. Quick fire starters. No harmful chemicals, and guaranteed to light your fire every time. Quick fire starters, the world's best fire starter.
The NASCAR Canada Series is on Rev TV. Canada's only national touring series, featuring the best drivers in the country. Racing on challenging street circuits, ovals, and road courses. The NASCAR Canada Series on Rev TV. Brought to you by WeatherTech Canada.
There's work and there's fun. Both require the right equipment. Since 1955, Ed Sturt's Equipment has specialized in both, with a full lineup of Kubota, Honda, Stihl, New Holland, and most selections are in stock, ready to go, with 4 locations to serve you. 2 in Erin, Cookstown, and Stainer. It's Sturt's Equipment. With the right equipment, work can be fun.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere, doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. You stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, you can count on Napa know-how.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, New Glasgow, Penticton, and Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia. You can count on Napa know-how.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Quick Fire Starters, the world's best fire starter. Napa Auto Parts Stores, Port Hawkesbury, New Glasgow, and Penticton, Nova Scotia.
Of newsmakers and news breakers is found right here. We call it Race Time Radio with your host, Joe Chisholm.
And welcome back, one and all, to Race Time Radio. Well, a week ago, the number 67 of Dylan Blenkhorn from Nova Scotia, he finally got the day he wanted. He had the 67 all prepared, ready to go, and headed for a familiar grounds at Scotia Speed World. It was their big Clash 250, and Dylan Blenkhorn did what he always does when he gets behind the wheel of that car at Scotia. He went out and won himself a race, and he won the biggest one at Scotia this year, and he joins us on the Zoom line right now. What's going on, Dill? How are you?
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, my friend. The plan worked out better than it did at the IWK. You ended up with trouble in that one, but not this 250. You had this one benchmarked.
Yeah, no, that's right. We had a little disappointing end of the 250 at Riverside. We had electrical issues. I thought we probably had a better car, a better chance to win that 250 than we did at Halifax. But hey, if any time you can win one of them suckers in a year, that's a successful year.
Oh, I'd say, and I watched the race on Tim's, and you did an outstanding job in that race, my friend. It's a hard task to do. A 250 is a lot different than running a 150 or even a 200. You add those extra laps, and it changes the complex of that whole race.
Yeah, it was hot that day too, and the humidity, it was raining a little bit. It was they tacked the track a little bit, but it was still hot and slick, and no top groove. So it was a task, but it makes it a little bit easier when you have a good race car and a good crew and good strategy, and every once in a while everything falls in place. And that's what happened last Sunday for us. So it all worked out.
Yeah, and that's the way you plan it. That's the way, all those late nights in the shop, getting everything ready to go. It's nice when you can go out there and dot all the I's, cross all the T's, get the checkered flag, and come back. It was different for you this year, Dylan. You've got a brand new Peltier car. Peltier, if I'm saying it right. It's brand new piece. And man, I'll tell you what, at Riverside, I got right up and I'm looking at that car, and what a piece of work.
Yeah, no, Preston hit it out of the park with the new chassis. There's not really a whole lot of them, probably only 10 or so out there, and he's having a lot of success with them across the border, and there's only 2 down this way, and Lonnie's had some success with his, and so anyway, we kind of decided we're going to go a different route and talk to him a little bit, talk to Lonnie, and decided to go that direction, and showed speed all year. I thought little small learning curve with it, but we spent some days at the racetrack and got it to my liking, and like I said, I'm glad that we got a win to show for it, because I felt like the car was pretty good pretty near every race we went to. Just kind of been having some bad luck and some brake troubles, and had a shock go bad the first race, and then obviously at the IWK 250 we had the electrical issues, but it was like I said, everything went good last Sunday, and you got to kind of ride the wave when you can, because you can show up to the next one and everything can go bad. So we'll take it as it comes.
Is there much difference, Dylan, in this chassis versus all the other ones that you've had? Because you've had great success with what you were running in the past. That's why I was really shocked to hear that you changed manufacturers. But is there a big difference between the two?
There's some similarities. Like all the top chassis now are pretty close, but there's some differences in this one that that I like. That that I kind of wanted to, the direction they were going. I kind of saw some speed, and they had some success at the Derby last year, and so I figured it was time. Nothing. I did have a lot of success in the Van Dorn car, and just figured it was time for a change. And so anyway, Lonnie had one, and Lonnie's good friends with Preston, so we figured we'd go that direction. So obviously Lonnie's a big help to the team and race day support. So we went that direction, and so far, I mean, it's been really good with Preston's help and Lonnie's help, and obviously all the guys. It's a learning curve, but at the end of the day, still the same old drive around and first one to cross the finish line wins.
Yeah, and it's the same driver with the same formula and mentality behind the wheel. Dylan, we haven't seen you in a lot of races. We used to see you full time on the tour. We'd see you at different select events outside the tour. We haven't seen that, not for a couple of years. You've been busy, right? You changed businesses. You're busy that way. What's it been like for you to maybe, dabble in it? Because really, that's what it looks like you're doing. You're cherry picking and picking the ones you want to go win.
Yeah, we just do it as a hobby now. I mean, we always did it as a hobby, but it's tough. Like, there's definitely the first of the year, I notice a big difference when I jump in the car. More so when I raced every weekend. Honestly, I felt like the until I got to the IWK weekend, then everything kind of started clicking for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I said, sucks that we didn't get the result I thought we deserved. But yeah, it's tough, and obviously a lot more going on in my life, business wise, work wise. It is the car doesn't get neglected, but there's definitely we're not as prepared as we used to when we were doing it full time. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it does make it easier when the car is working better and turns better. It does make it easier to jump in and make you look like you know what you're doing.
Well, you've always done that, and I watched at the IWK. Of course, I was on pit road, so I'm watching the leaderboard. I'm watching practice, and so many good cars, and really trying to find that storyline. And that storyline was you, and it was the 08 of Nicholas Noggle. I know Bubba Pollard was there, but he really didn't have much for the two of you guys. You guys were both right up there. And the 67 car, you'd be on top of the board, and then Nick, he'd go to the top of the board, and then I'd see you get the fire suit back on, and you go back out, and boom, 67 to the top of the board. And it was one of those days. So I knew it was going to come down to it. And sure enough, in the race, you were really coming until the electrical stuff all reared its head. And it was just a shame because watching what I seen in practice, I thought, man, we get this in the race, this is going to be over the top.
Yeah, no, if you get a trophy for winning practice this year, I think we'd have a lot more trophies than just one, but unfortunately you got to lead the last lap. The winning, being fastest in practice don't pay nothing, or you don't get a trophy for it. So the car showed lots of speed. I think it would have been a different story maybe if he didn't have the motor issues. And then obviously Cole, I thought Cole would have been pretty good last weekend as well if he didn't get tore up there lap one. And I thought Songlight was probably pretty good too. I think he had a tire go down maybe at the halfway point or when the rain delay. But like I said, I thought the 2 car was really the car to beat actually, and he was probably a little bit better than us before we took tires.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought so, just a little bit. And we took tires and he didn't. And I was like, oh, geez, guys, when he takes tires, he's going to blow our doors off. But he got tires on and we made our car a little bit better. And I didn't really see him. So it just, I don't know if they made an adjustment, went the wrong way or what. But like I said, our car got a little bit better at the end there. So, and that car we finally got a lot of long run speed in that car now too. So I'm excited for what the rest of the season has for us, for sure.
We're with Dylan Blenkhorn, driver of the 67. He takes the Mid-Summer Clash win, the 250 win just last Sunday. And speaking of the rest of the year, how many more races, Dylan, are on your radar to go do?
So I think our plan right now is the long weekend there, September, is to do the 250 in Fredericton.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably if the car is still in one piece, we'll do the Mike Stevens race
mm-hmm.
in Petty. And those are the only 2 left on our schedule. If the car's still good, I'll in one piece. I just don't have time to work on it anymore to fix it. We'll do. I think there's probably the end of the year race, maybe the 200 at Scotia. I've been asked quite a bit if I was going to do that race. So but right now, like I said, we're just picking and choosing, and if something else comes up, we might do that. Who knows?
Now, what will you do when you do the 250 at Fredericton? There's no doubt Lonnie Somerville is always in that race. I can't imagine the 23 car won't be in that race. And, of course, when he's in a race, Larry Somerville goes with him. What will you do for a crew? Because I know those guys have been instrumental with the 67. At least they were at Riverside. I don't know who was with you at Scotia, but probably those guys.
Yeah, it's going to, you know what, I've been dreading this, but I think we're going to park beside each other, and Larry's still going to do our tires for us. And it's going to be tough. Lonnie's a really big help at the racetrack, so we're just going to be left on our own, I guess, and left. We're going to be competing against each other, so we'll be a lone wolf out there trying to get her done. But I got a lot of good guys that help, and I think we'll be all right. You never know. The car, Lonnie will help, and we'll probably go testing and try to get the car pretty close, and we should hopefully we'll just unload the car race day and not have to make any adjustments. We'll just roll it out and be good.
Well, you've got a notebook from there. It wouldn't be your first 250 at Fredericton, so you will have notes. Whether those notes will apply to the new car, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to use those notes. We didn't run very good. I think I probably already threw that notebook in the garbage.
Did you? Well, can you ever see the day? Do you think next year fans could look forward to maybe seeing you back on a full-time basis in the Tour?
Nah. Yeah, I get asked that question a lot too, and just with my workload and work schedule, it's just I don't know if it would be possible. But I would love to. I love the Tour. I love what they stand for, and I've always been a supporter of CSOL and the Pro Stock Tour. But unfortunately, life happens. I did it for a lot of years, and we're having quite a bit of fun now, just kind of picking and choosing, and all my guys. I mean, they devoted a lot of weekends and a lot of time to do with that, and I don't know if I'd feel right asking them to, hey boys, we're gonna be racing every weekend again. So we have fun doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. Just the selfish part of me would love to see you back in the Tour full blast. And I was a kid in a candy store last weekend when I seen Cole Butcher's name at the racetrack, and I'm thinking, oh man, Cole, Dylan, so many races that we called on Racetime Radio, where it was the Cole and Dylan show all the way to the checkered flag, and side by side for umpteen laps, not just a few. Mm-hmm. I'm talking like half the race. It was the Cole and Dylan show, and you never knew who was going to win.
Yeah, that brought back some memories. It was pretty cool last year too, starting 1-2. But like I said, I wish he wouldn't have got tore up there. I really think that it would have been a old school 53-67 battle again. But hopefully we'll have more opportunities to do it.
Yeah. Well, we can always look into the future. It's just so cool. And congratulations on the victory. Nice to see you get some reward for all the hard work and dedication that you have put in to be able to get out and race. It's kind of cool. Fans definitely love seeing you out there, and would love the opportunity to see you back out there again. Sounds like the fans in Fredericton are going to get their wish and have the 67 car out there for the 250. That's cool.
Yeah, I know it's pretty cool. Not racing much anymore, and during the autograph sessions, a lot of people do come up and say, hey, we're pretty happy to see you back at the racetrack. And there's a lot of people that say, hey, I got my money on you today, and that's pretty cool to see. And I have been asked quite a bit if I'm going to Fredericton, and you know what, it's been a while since I've been there. I don't know, maybe 2017 or 18. Last time I raced there. So hopefully we can put on a good show and ride the momentum from last weekend.
Well, get Black Betty ready to rock. She's got another one to go do. That's cool. Dylan, thanks so much for the time tonight on Race Time. It's just great to see you back, and congratulations on yet another 250 win.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, guys. Thank you very much, Joe.
You bet. That's Dylan Blenkhorn right there. Driver of the 67. So cool to see him at a race. And, the emphasis that those guys do, the effort that they put forward, it's just cool to watch them go do it and up against the best when they're on the racetrack. That Fredericton race is going to be a doozy at Speedway 660, the long weekend in September. It's a historic 250. It ranks right up there with all the other 250s on the east coast of Canada. If you're anywhere close to Speedway 660 in New Brunswick for the long weekend, you've got to go check out that race weekend. It's totally off the hook. We're going to hit our final break of the night. When we come back, we're going to grab Trevor Seibert all the way out in BC, and we'll get an update with Trevor about Penticton Speedway, the Western Rattler 222, and all the above. We'll do that on the other side of the break. Stay with us. We will be back live.
Racetime Radio is fueled by BP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by 2-Speed Motorsports in Hanover. Shop now for Raptor filters, set-up wheel plates, roll-off scale stands, tire carts, and more. Proudly made in Canada. For details, get to 2speedmotorsports.com. Since 1955, Ed Stewart's Kubota in Erin has provided top-of-the-line equipment featuring a full line of Kubota tractors and attachments. Let our knowledgeable veteran sales team match you up with the right product, complete with full parts and service for 70 years. Stewart's not only gets you going, but keeps you going. Stewart's Equipment. Get the job done. It's time. For over 30 years, Quick Fire Starters have fueled this sport on and off the track, making lighting your campfire as easy as 1, 2, 3. There's no need for kindling or paper. Just pop your Quick Fire Starter in the pit, add your wood, and presto, you're a pro. Quick Fire Starters. No harmful chemicals, and guaranteed to light your fire every time. Quick Fire Starters, the world's best fire starter.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere. Doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. You stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, you can count on Napa know-how.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, New Glasgow, Penticton, and Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia. You can count on Napa know-how.
The NASCAR Canada Series is on Rev TV, Canada's only national touring series, featuring the best drivers in the country, racing on challenging street circuits, ovals, and road courses. The NASCAR Canada Series on Rev TV. Brought to you by WeatherTech Canada.
And now, back with your host, Joe Chisholm.
And we're back with you all live tonight on Racetime Radio. So glad you could pop in here. Please do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel. I much appreciate it. We grow a little bit each and every week, all because of you clicking on that. Want to remind you as well, Racetime Radio doesn't have an off season. We take off Christmas and New Year's, and other than that, we keep going all the way around the calendar to keep you up to date on all your short track race news here in Canada. We do some stuff south of the border, and we like inviting our American guys on with us, especially get around the Snowball Derby. It's always a tremendous event. If you're new to short track racing, welcome aboard. Short track racing is just the place to be. If you're a Canadian and you're into racing, maybe you've never been to a short track race. Might I suggest you take a night and go and check it out. You can go with the guys, you can go with the family. It is a family sport. You'll enjoy it. Get to your local racetrack. Just Google your local market. Chances are you got a racetrack around you there somewhere. And get out and check it out. There's so many good races all the way across the country. And there's no doubt we are getting to the short strokes of it now. We got the rest of August. Some racetracks go into the month of September. Not all, but some. And then you get into October for the big events. We got the Autumn Colors Classic weekend coming up at Peterborough Speedway. I want to say it's the 39th annual this year, I believe. 39 years that the event's been going on. Always happens on Thanksgiving weekend. And you get racing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with the main features, pretty well all the main features all happening on the Sunday. But getting to those features can be quite a task. And all the qualifying and all that kind of stuff goes on Friday and Saturday up into the Sunday events. You want to check that out, no doubt. There's also a big one at Flamboro Speedway. It'll come up in I believe it's October 3rd and 4th this year. It's called Frosttoberfest. It all brought to you by London Recreational and Grisdale Racing Products at Flamboro. It's a big year-end blowout at Flamboro Speedway. It's always a barn burner as well. You'll get a chance to see the super late models at that, the pro lates, the super stocks, and all the other divisions. And there's tons of them. So you'll be able to check that out. Now, new this year, Sauble Speedway is usually done on Labor Day weekend, but not this year. Of course, with Sunset Speedway falling off the map this year, there was no action at Sunset. And by the sounds of it, Sunset Speedway is officially done. I kind of thought it would only be temporary, but I guess it's gone. Hopefully it can resurge. But with that track going dark, they used to have an event called Velocity. It was a Velocity spring race and the Velocity fall. And that's how they started the year and ended the year. With Sunset not there, they're not doing that now. So the Velocity weekend is being picked up by Sauble Speedway. Now, it's going to take place, I want to say it's either the 16th or 17th, the two-day show in September. So that is totally different for any of the fans that hit Sauble Speedway. You don't want to miss that weekend. That is going to be a doozy. You check their calendar, their schedule out. You'll see they have a big concert weekend coming up on the Labor Day weekend. Then the track, I believe, will have their championship races for their home classes. And then the weekend after that will, in fact, be the Velocity weekend. I believe they call it the Riptide weekend at Sauble Speedway. But check that out. So there's 3 big events to cap the year off at those particular racetracks. And then you've got everything that takes place on the East Coast. I guess the big one that's still left to do out there is the 250 at Speedway 660. The Mike Stevens Memorial Race is another big 200-lap race, at least I think it's a 200, and that goes at Petty International Raceway, and you still got a 200 at Scotia Speed World. Riverside still has their back-to-school big event, so that's still to look forward to. And then, out on the west coast of Canada, out in BC, we're hoping that the Western Rattler, the 222, and Trevor and his staff have always got big stuff planned for now, and they'll have a couple more events anyway, heading into what will be the fall. But good news is I can see Trevor up on that Zoom line as we speak. So let's bring in the promoter at Penticton Speedway. It is Trevor Seibert. What's going on, Trevor? I haven't seen you all year.
No, it's been a while. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm sitting out on a mine site. I literally just crawled off a D9 to come and talk to you. So juggling, doing my day job today.
Well, we can see you, we can hear you, and I'm real glad that I'm able to see you with all the fires that are happening out there in BC. It's been a real challenge. What's it been like, Trev?
Well, it has been a challenge. I'm up in Williams Lake, my hometown. I still have an office here. We do a lot of work, as I say, in mining up here, and we got 2 or 3 big mining projects going on, and the fires are all around us. We had a big one in Williams Lake. It's pretty well contained now, but they were hammering that one pretty hard for a number of weeks. And then, of course, the one down in Penticton that's taken a bunch of residential homes in Summerland. Another one in the Soyuz, another one in Vernon. All the places that a lot of your guests would know about when they race in Vernon and Penticton and those places. That whole valley's just been devastated with the wildfires that are going on, and of course, had to put out a release the other day that we postponed in the Rattler, because of it, and we don't have any problem doing that. Like it's just there's way more things to worry about than racing cars with what's going on out here right now.
Oh, I can well imagine. I heard it got scary close to Penticton Speedway, and I was on my knees praying to God that it didn't touch that track. You just got finished, you and your staff just got finished doing a ton of rebuilding over the last few years, and we don't need something like that happening to Penticton. Like you say, we can race whenever, and that's the beautiful part about being out there in BC. The window is a lot wider than it is in a lot of different locations in Canada. Is there a plan? Do you have a date where the Western Rattler 222 will take place?
So, we put out the release that we're postponing, and we're absolutely going to run it. We were looking for a date, that makes sense for everybody. Probably the one that's in the lead contention right now, when we're pretty confident it's going to be the date, is October 3rd, and that's our Harvest 200 weekend. And I think we're just going to combine the two, whatever that looks like, whether we run 2 races or just run the Rattler on that weekend. Because, of course, we have other shows. We've got our regular contingent of, Hornets and Legends and Street Stocks and stuff that run locally at the track that, that weekend was coming up for them. The Street Stocks, we're going to run the Rattler, but the other 2 classes weren't affected by that. So, we're going to probably take over that weekend, keeping in mind that we have to look after the other 2 or 3 classes. So it'll be a big weekend. We've got the West Car guys coming that weekend as well. So yeah, I think we're probably 90% sure we're going to put it on October 3rd. We're just checking with a few more racers to make sure that they don't have conflicts. Some of them do, unfortunately. It's not much we can do about it. There's a big race across the line on that weekend that always was going to be a bit of a conflict anyways, but now it's also a conflict for the Rattler, unfortunately. But it looks like we'll still have a pretty decent car count for it. Lots of guys have said, hey, you have to do what you got to do, and let us know the date, and we still want to come. Lots of inquiries this year on the Rattler, and been going on all summer. So unfortunately, I had to postpone it, but we're going to turn it into something positive once we get things looked after in the Okanagan and get people, sorted again with their homes and get them back in there. There's 20,000 people that are evacuated right now, which we can't be tying up hotel rooms and stuff for putting racers and crew and stuff in right now when people are in desperate need of somewhere to live.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, the season can extend. There's no problem with that. And when the fire stuff's done and everybody gets their home back, they'll appreciate the fact that, there is something to do when all this is over, and it'll get their mind off of everything that they just went through.
Absolutely. I mean, we looked at keeping the date. It's still 1 week away from, 6 days right now, but it was a hell of a good call, in the end, for all kinds of reasons. But they're still battling that fire, and the highway is still closed. The main highway from Kelowna to Penticton. So it's quite a milk run just to get to Penticton now with on the highways that are left open. So we made the right call that way. And we'll plan this thing in October, and like you say, people will be situated again properly. And unfortunately, some people have lost their homes, other people have been inconvenienced, if you will. We don't want to be trying to put an event on when that's going on. Let's get everything mopped up and cleaned up, and get everything kind of back where it belongs, and then put an event. And I think you're right. Lots of times when people go through something like this, they're looking for something exciting to go and watch.
Yeah, absolutely. How's the summer been for Penticton? I got a million questions for you, but we're going to start with that one. How's Penticton done this year?
Done quite well. Our last event was a Gordy Manis weekend, we call it. It's a memorial event that was there when we took over the track. It's a double-header, street stock focused event, and very well received. I mean, the place was it was really packed on particular on day two. We had bands playing both days. We had a pretty damn good crowd on day one, and day two was loaded. We're doing a lot of things in the summer months and packing them in July and August, late June and July and August, and we're really targeting the tourism crowd because it is a tourism place, the Okanagan in particular. We get a lot of European people coming up there, and so we're focusing on that. I always say you're always going to get the hardened, race fans. They'll come out and watch you race a couple of shopping carts against each other. But if we're going to grow a crowd and get new fans, we have to put something in front of them. And the way to do that for us is when the influx of people in the summertime goes through the roof. Now, of course, with a fire, a lot of those people have canceled their plans too. So it's a big deal for everybody right now, what's going on. So we're going to rely on getting some of the BC crowd to be big supporters of that event.
I seen a guy, and just on my Instagram, just scrolling through, and there was a guy pop up. He was from BC, and I believe he was a resident somewhere in the Okanagan, and he said, listen, the fires are away from us now in where we are, and please, if you're watching this video, please come on out and enjoy our establishments, and come on out for some wine, and come out for this and that. He said, we are, like, the local people need the business. Everybody is chased away, and we need the business. So if you're anywhere close to this, please do me a favor and come out. And it really struck home, man. If I was out that way, I would have been the first guy there to support the local area to try and get some of that. Because, like you say, with the fires, it chased literally everybody away.
You're absolutely right, Joe. Like that's, with a big influx of people for the summer months, that's what the small businesses all rely on. Hotels or restaurants, the different things is certainly some of the events like, the people that rent out a paddleboard and that type of stuff. It just gets hammered, and there's no recovery from that for the entire year because nobody's coming here in October to go float down the channel or do something on a boat or do some water sports. So it's very hard on them. So you're absolutely right. For the people who are there, they've been encouraging them to at least, participate as best they can, to keep the dollars flowing. But for us to have an opportunity to postpone something and have all those hotel rooms and the pressures put on, you got to remember we consume, first responders at the racetrack, right? I mean, we have people in first aid, we have the fire people on notice, you know.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is have to dial 911 and call a bunch of people up there that are already taxed to the max doing something else, right? So for sure, for the people that are already there, by all means, spend your money, support those businesses, but we'll just do ours a different day.
Yeah, good call. Good call. You're also involved. Trevor is a utility guy. He is a jack of all trades. He's not only a racer, and we're going to get to that part of it, but he's also involved at Area 27, which is another beautiful BC Speedway. It's a road course up the road from Penticton. But how are things at Area 27? Did you get a chance to get out and run around the track at all this year there?
I did once earlier in the season. You know, I get pretty busy with the construction side of things, and between that and running Penticton Speedway, it's hard for me to go out and, you know, shut my brain off and just concentrate on having some fun for myself. So I did manage to get out there once. But having said that, you know, when I go to Area 27, we have typically 8 or 9 cars that AVION Motorsports is looking after when we do the, you know, our race days, our club racing. I enjoy, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy being behind the wheel, but I also enjoy just kind of being out there and being social with all of our guests that are there running cars and helping them out and supporting them. You know, so I've done a fair bit of that this summer. We've done our corporate events that we normally do. Those are the ones that we host privately at Area 27. So done a bunch of that. We did a race school. We're looking at doing another race school here later on in the fall because it was really well attended. I haven't really done too much. Like Area 27 itself doesn't do much when it comes to race schools because, you know, talking with that hat on, Area 27, we have Corvettes. We used to have the Camaros that we have our deal with GM. So we put on performance driving schools. But some people confuse that with a race school.
Yeah.
And they're not the same thing. Performance driving is one thing. If you truly want to go and race, there's racecraft. There's so many different things that come to that. Riley was the spearhead of that one. Like, we put him in charge of doing the training, and it went over very well. So we're going to do more of those if we can find a way for him and I to get away to help out in that, because really enjoy doing it.
Yeah, well, and you guys do an excellent job. Area 27, was it far enough away from the fires? Cross your fingers it don't come back or anything. Has it been spared?
Well, funny you ask, because, and I hadn't really thought of this until you brought this up, but it was 2 or 3 years ago we had a big fire around the track at Area 27. So most of the stuff in the hills is burnt. And once it's burnt, you have kind of a natural fire guard. We were fortunate that time. We had one of our safety guys that was pretty dedicated. He was out there with a little fire truck that we own, and he was putting out spot fires. So all of the trees on the property, all the grassland, everything remained. We had fire coming onto the property, and he was able to keep it out, him and a couple of his helpers. So we kind of have a natural fire guard around that property. Unfortunately, it's a bunch of burnt trees, but it doesn't look that bad 3 years later. You know, the grass comes back at least, and it's pretty sparse in Okanagan when it comes to trees anyways in some of those areas. So it's not to say that it wouldn't burn, because we still have all the trees that we have on the property.
Yeah.
But it's a little tougher for the fire to get to us now.
Good. That's a piece of positive news right there, and I'm really glad to hear it. Now, let's talk about your racing. I know we had the winner. Sam joined us just last week that went to Victory Lane in the Bridge City 200 in Saskatoon. I know you and your son Riley both had cars in that race. Take us through it. How was it?
Oh, it was a great event. Riley was on the pole, actually. Sam put a lap in there that was quicker, but him and I both got a lap penalty or lap taken away in qualifying. I think he missed his weight or something like that, and we did something kind of embarrassing that I don't even want to talk about, but we actually rolled across the scale with our practice tires on somehow, and in the mix of things, forgot to put our race tires on, and we were in the lineup for qualifying, and I had to go do an about face, and so they let me roll across, but I only got the one lap. So Riley, and he was second in qualifying, so he inherited the pole, if you will. And it was a great race. Riley led a lot of it. I was kind of hanging out in fourth and fifth, but right after halfway, I got a flat tire, the right front go down, so I had to come in. I was fortunate. I was kind of biding my time out there, and probably the next lap I had to come in. I was damn near on the wheel, and it was going down slowly, lucky enough, and I got the yellow I needed. And so I pulled in and got a right front, put back in the car, and stayed on the lead lap. Had to come from last, got back into the mix. I was up to fourth at one time, but as far as my car goes, I had a good car. I just wore the tires off the thing, getting back up to the front. And yeah, I don't know. These young guys are, they're 145 pounds and mid 20s or whatever, and trying to run them down is, I get there, but they're doing a hell of a job. Sam did a great job. Riley did a great job, and I had really good running with Matt Shirley. Him and I ran door to door, lap after lap. Like, I had a bunch of really good battles going on in that race. And I was going to say, we never even so much as touched, but we did. I actually touched him by accident. I got a little deep in one corner there and gave him the door and had a good laugh about it afterwards, and thanked him for helping to straighten me out when I got in there. But a really good racing. They had 16, 17 cars. They've had more. They've been playing with their rule book a little bit to try and get it so it's a little bit more, I think, like the Rattler, where different cars from different sanctions can participate.
Yeah.
And they weren't really doing that, and they decided to do it, but they did it too late, and so they missed a few cars that they could have got. But going forward, I think if we all get on the same rules package, or at least allow the different bodies, like I allow super lates to run with us at Penticton.
Right.
As you know, you're out there for the inaugural one, and Penticton's short. It's fast, but it's short. So the big power, it's usually the guy that's on the pole is on a super late car, but they don't usually stay there because they roast the right rear off the thing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
And I think in Canada, in particular in Western Canada, we have to allow a bigger mix of cars into these races if we're going to get the car count.
Yeah, and it's scary to some of the competitors thinking, I'm going to take my car and I'm going to run against that guy. I've seen it at Sauble Beach, where we had a super late race one night, and they were short on cars. Some other racetrack pulled a boner and put their race over top of ours. I ended up with 5 guys at Sauble, and you can't do a show with 5, not when you're going to have a grandstand full of people. So I said to my late model guys, go home and get your cars. I don't care what you got. Get into the race. You're going to make the money. Just go get your cars. So a bunch of them did, and they come back. Well, we were all shocked that our late model guys that had a half a car compared to those super jets were actually beating them through the turns. And I mean smoking the supers through the turns. And, of course, the super would pull down the straightaway until they burnt the tires off the car. And we ended up with a super late win in the race, a pro late second, a pro late third, a super fourth, and on, all the way through the field. It made for a hell of a race, and what it just opened everybody's eyes up to look at the potential.
Absolutely. And so Saskatoon did allow, like I say, they made some rule changes, and they allowed a few different packages. We were on kind of our own package we were on the United package that the Cars Tour and everybody else is running now. And they were on their local package, I guess. And there's some weight differences. There's some left side weight things that are different in that thing. But honestly, the racing couldn't have been closer. We were neck and neck. I mean, the whole front 6, 7, 8 cars were neck and neck for the whole thing. It was good racing. And so it's always an eye opener. People worry too much, I think, about somebody that has another 50 horse or whatever on a short track. Some of them for sure. A place like Tucson where you can use a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Saskatoon is getting up there. It's a little faster track, a little more ponies would help you for sure. But it was so damn close, I wouldn't touch the thing. I would leave it alone just the way it is.
Did you get many short track races in yourself this year, Trevor, or just that 200?
I did. Riley and I did. Where did we go? We went to Tucson in January. We did that one. We did the Wenatchee race for the Cars Tour. And then we did the shootout at Penticton. We did the one in Saskatoon, and that's it. I mean, not a lot. Just been too busy. We'd like to do more. We'll probably schedule to go back to Tucson late in the fall. And we got to look at the car schedule. Maybe we'll even go down to California or something late in the year. We're just so darn busy right now, which is a good thing. Between the racetracks and the construction and everything, we're up to our eyeballs. And so we're kind of thinking about what we're going to do in the slower months, go somewhere hot and do some racing.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the ability you guys have. It's kind of a shame, though, because I know the locals would like to see you guys race more in the local market so they get a chance to watch you. But if you're just tuned in to Race Time Radio and wondering who the guy is in the truck with the hat on, that's Trevor Seibert. He is Penticton Speedway. He's an accomplished racer, he and his son. He's also with Area 27, and he is AVION Motorsports. And I got to ask you, Trev, RS1. What is the picture with RS1 and those RS1 cars? It sort of went into a hiatus, if you will, or at least it looked like it. Where are we at with RS1?
It did for sure compared to what we were doing. We had a full-blown standalone race series there, and that went quite well for a number of years. But like a lot of things, without being able to give it the proper attention and, things changed. We probably needed, a big sponsor to come on board to keep that thing going at the level that it was at. However, a lot of new blood in there. Some cars have changed hands. A bunch of cars have changed hands. And those cars now we enter them in the club racing at Area 27. So they're out there with 40 other cars. And I can say the RS1 is, it's leading the points. So it's usually when you see a couple of Porsche Cup cars out there and you see 4 or 5 RS1s giving them a hard time. So they're really getting a lot of eyebrows raised because, of course, you're talking about a $150,000 race car racing against a $350,000 car. And that's the start of it, because when you go to do a brake job on a Porsche, it's probably a $10,000 bill instead of a $500 bill. So we're getting a lot more people that are doing the club, in particular at Area 27, getting involved. We're doing a lot more driver training in those cars. We've got some data acquisition stuff that we've brought into the cars now. We just kind of changed the way we're going about things, and we're having quite a bit of success with it, actually. So stay tuned. I know it's been pretty quiet because we've been rejigging the thing, but there's been a lot of them have been on the track.
Yeah, and the off season, that's when a lot of stuff gets planned and implemented and everything else. So it's, I don't know what's going on with my mic, but something was going on with it. Anyway, it's good to hear that there still is stuff in the background there. Are cars still available? Somebody wants to buy an RS1 car. Can they do that?
Absolutely, yeah. Like I say, a bunch of them have changed hands. We've actually purchased back a few of them because what I mentioned earlier about our race schools, it makes way more sense for us to have a bunch of in-house cars. We always had house cars, but now we got more of them again. We put these schools on, there's 8 or 10 cars out there, and everybody's in identical equipment. I mean, what better way to put on a school when everybody's got the exact same thing?
Yeah.
So yeah, but absolutely, there's cars changing hands with cars for sale. We can always build you a new one too, right? That's not an issue. So yeah, we haven't really changed the formula, but one thing we have done is we've just made some, I'd call them minor in the scope of the racing world. They're pretty minor changes when it comes to the spend, but the cars have got significantly faster than they were before.
Yeah, that's
so we've
cool.
done, yeah. So our lap times have actually gotten better after 10 years. So we've made some changes to some things. We've got a bit more horsepower going through, and we got some suspension changes that we've done. We've brought in the data acquisition to help do some training, and so we're learning a bunch. In reality, we never really did a lot. We did a baseline setup on those cars and had everybody run with the basic same thing. So now that we're running against 30 other cars out there, we're digging a little deeper to see how much we can get out of the cars, and we've made some significant strides.
Well, if anybody can gain on it, it's your bunch at AVION Motorsports. I have no doubt. Let's go full circle back to Penticton Speedway because we are getting close to the top of the hour. You race there next Saturday night, or have you, when you say the Western Rattler has been postponed, is it the full date that's postponed, or are you guys in action next Saturday?
No, we're completely shut down for next Saturday. That one's right off the schedule. And then moving that one forward, like I say, to what would have been our Harvest 200 weekend. That was our next late model race that a lot of guys are talking about coming to. It's that time of year where a lot of guys are done their schedules. And you mentioned it earlier in the conversation that Penticton, the sun's still out that time of year. So we're going to move it to that date, not doing anything at all next weekend. Going to give everybody a chance to kind of regroup, get their cars ready and see what we can do there. But it'll be a big event. There'll be the West Car gang is coming to run their race, which was going to be at the Rattler. We're going to do the Rattler 222, and then we're going to do our local stuff that was going to be on the Harvest weekend. So we got Street Stocks, Legends, Hornets. We got a lot of racing going on in one night. They're going to pack it all in, so it'll be kind of a final hurrah for the season, I guess, for that. We have a Halloween event, but that's more of a fun event geared for the kids.
Yeah. No, that's super. And fans that are out in that market, if you're heading out there in that beginning of October end of things, get to Penticton Speedway. They're losing dates, and let's help Penticton build it back up. And hopefully we can pick up what the loss is and make it an extra special event. That would really be cool. Tickets still on sale early. Can fans still go and buy them online?
So right now they're shut off, but they will be again once we finalize the date, which will be in the next couple of days. What we've done is did a mass refund for everybody that bought tickets for the Western Rattler. It was just a way to do it. Just refund everybody's money and start all over, right? So we don't have a bunch of back and forth. We're doing that. The other thing I'll mention is we spent a pile of time and effort and money doing a bunch of capital upgrades to the Speedway this year. So we've got a much bigger beer garden. We've got a spotter tower that we put in there. We got flush washrooms in there now. We got a really good group of food vendors. We did a bunch of things. We're fully licensed there now. So I got that about a month ago, which took me about a year to get.
Yeah.
So which is a big deal, right? You got to kind of have profit centers everywhere you look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So people are really enjoying themselves.
Well, and that's the way it happens at Penticton. I know I absolutely loved it. And it was a work in progress the 2 years I was there. And it's just kind of cool. Might have to come back in October so I can get caught up on everything.
I do have to get you back one of these days. I know we talk about it all the time, Joe, but it would be great to have you back because I'm pretty proud of what the place has become. I was pretty proud of it when you were there. I'm even more proud of it again now. I think you should come out and have a little look at what we've done. I think you'd enjoy it.
Man, it would be just another one of those wishes off the bucket list. I can guarantee you that, Trevor. This has been great catching up with you. Too bad we had to wait all year to do it, but I'll tell you what, I'd like to get you back on a week or so ahead of the Western Rattler so that we can remind fans and the reason for why they're going to make it out to the Western Rattler. And by then, we'll have an idea of maybe some of the cars that are coming in. Maybe I can get a couple of them guys on.
Absolutely. It's not a bad idea because by then we'll have concreted in a bunch of the drivers. I know a bunch that are coming for sure, but a few of them are checking their schedule because there might be some conflicts, and then I'll be able to tell you who's coming and so on. But yeah, why don't we do that?
We will absolutely. Trevor, do me a favor. Be safe out there and say hi to Riley and the whole group out there. And we will be in touch. I can guarantee it.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. And I always appreciate your time.
Trevor Seibert right there. Penticton Speedway, Area 27, AVION Motorsports, and one hell of a race car driver. He and his son. You want to talk about battles? He and his son. The two of them, you'd think oh, yeah, go ahead, Dad, you pass? Not these two guys. They put the brain buckets on, every man for themselves, and they put on a show. I can just imagine what it's going to be like when we get the two of them back on the racetrack. Add in all the guys for the Western Rattler. It's truly going to be a great race. That's going to do it for this edition of Race Time Radio. Want to thank you all for tuning in. Got to thank Susie Q here in the Racetime Radio studio. Wayne Bratton, I hope you're feeling better, bud. Wayne, a faithful viewer, he and Sandra. Hopefully, Wayne's feeling better. Haven't heard from you in a while, bud. Hey, I need some messaging. And we hope you all enjoy the week. We will catch you next week. APC, back on the racetrack at Sauble next weekend. So many good races coming up. NASCAR Canada, off to ICAR, I believe, and then they're back to CTMP. You don't want to miss that. We got lots to preview, lots to cover off, and we'll do more of it next week right here on Racetime Radio. Be safe, everybody, and we will see you next Sunday right here on Racetime Radio. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to Racetime Radio. Visit us on the web at www.racetimeradio.com. We hope you'll join us again next time for more Racetime Radio.
Come on now, dig.
Exclusively on your home for the hardcore race fan.
Excellent, buddy, excellent.